Welcome all. I'm Jyotish from Pratisha Engineering College, pursuing final year CSE department. In this tutorial, we are going to learn about login application using Firebase. In this, we are going to see creation of user interface, registering the Android client, importing the dependencies, initializing the Firebase, reading and writing the data, comparison of data, setting input constraint, changing the designs, finalizing the project, and the final installation of the app. We have already created the user interface. It has two things, login and sign up. In sign up, it has the username, email ID, and the password, and a sign up button. If you want to go for login page, click the login text, and it has the image for references. Login page, it has same username, password, and the login button. If you want to go for sign up, click for sign up. The user interface done. Now go for the registering of Android client. You have to open the Firebase console with the desired account, and you have to add project and you enter the name of the project. Here the name of the project is Firebase login. Once you click continue, it asks for the analytics. If you just enable analytics and then continue, and you have to select an account, default account for the Firebase, and create project. This will take some time for the creation of the project. When the project is ready, click on the continue, and it will show your project in the project list. Click on the project list and go for the Android symbol to add the Android client. In this, you have to enter your package name of your app. Here my package name is com.jollycreations.firebase login. After entering my app, you have to verify that correct, then click on register app. It will take some time, and if it's verified, and you have to download the Google JSON services. And next, add these things to the Firebase SDK. I will show the rather another method for this process. Sign in to the Android Studio with your desired Google account and go for the tools, and in the tools you have to see the Firebase option. Click on this option. It will open an assistant for the Firebase. Click on the real-time database. In this real-time database, you can connect the Firebase. Click on connect to Firebase. It will pop a starting connection dialog box. If it popped out, as we are already registered for this project, it will say it is already connected to Firebase login. Just click on the sync. If you click sync, the Firebase dependencies and other JSON files are downloaded automatically and sync to your Android project. And the JSON files automatically downloaded and sync to the project. It shows connected. And now you have to add the real-time database to your app, which is accepting the forest dependencies to this app project. It will automatically sync and download the required dependencies to the app. Registering and adding dependencies are done. Now we have to initialize the Firebase in our Android project. All set up. Now we have to read and write the data. Before reading and writing data, you need to configure the database rules. For that, go for the project and click for the real-time database. On clicking the create database, it asks for the configuration. Start on test mode. It will allow the user to edit the data for only 30 days. After that, it will ask for the go for the lock mode, and if you click enable to create the database. It will take some time for creation of database, and if the database is created, you can see the URL of your database. Shows the null data. Now we have to initialize the Firebase instance in our database. Copy those two lines from the right to your database and paste it in your main activity or Java, which is an login activity. Now click Alt Enter to import these classes from the modules. Creation of Firebase instance is done. Now we have to go for read and write of the data. In the assistant, it will give the values for the read and write performance. Like myRef.set value is for writing, and myReference.add value even listener. It's for getting the value from the database. Now we are going to write a data hello world to a child sample, and after writing we are going to retrieve the child sample data from the database and store it on the string value. Reading and writing of the data from the Firebase is done. Now for the comparison of data. Now write a if condition which compares the values from the database to the hello world string. If it is equal, it shows the toast message as value is equal. Comparison of data is done. Now we have to set the input for the edit text for the as input constraints. First of all, we need to create a link between the design and the backend part. So we are initializing the three edit text and initializing with the IDs given to the XML part. So when it's done, and also we have to compare the username dot length. If the length is less than 3, you should not accept. If it's greater only, it must be accepted. So and the length and the password. The password must not contain less than 8 characters. So that also be defined with this thing. And also the verification of email address, we are using an isValid function. In this valid function, we are using the regress equation to compare the email address is a verification or is valid or not. Just by accessing the isValid function with the parameter of email address, it will return the true or false. If all the conditions are true only, the data need to be updated to the Firebase, else it not be updated. So everything need to be constrained. If the inner part is only true, it will accept the data. So we are giving the file in reference in the inside the if loop of the email address, which is verification at last. So enter the details with the child name, username, password, and email address. Every condition is verified only on sign up button. So on click, event listener has been added for the sign up button, and that in that on click, the condition will be verified. So by copying from the if condition to the sign up block. Here the my reference is error because my reference is declared locally. So we have to make it as global. Just declare it as global in the above the onClick method. Input constraints is being done, and you have to change the design for the login. So in this login, this same. So copy it from the sign up page and copy it to the login. On same as sign up, you need to assign a login on click listener. On the on click listener, you have to initialize the order add on event click listener. So in this event listener, we can retrieve the data from the Firebase. So same as the condition will be verified before the login. So the input constraints given to the sign up is given to the login also, except it has no email in it. On the add event listener, the data is retrieved. So we have to paste the add event listener and I have to change it to the holders. So we need to create 3 holders for the storing of the data from the Firebase, like for example name holder and password holder. These needs to be compared before verification of the password from the user input. Before comparing the password, you need to verify is the username is already present or not. If it is present only, you need to compare the password. So we need to define a method data snapshot that has child and pass the parameter as the username. It will verify that if it has a child name called as user, it will return true or else it will return false. And now we can compare the username with the password. So the username which is given and the password given. If the password of the username is given, it is equal, it will show login successful. Now it's time to run the app. Click the play button on the menu bar which will run the app. It will take some time for the installation of first app. When it installs, it will automatically show the app in the phone. Before going to the login button, we need to go for the sign up. But we didn't give for the sign up intent. So it's time for the intent for the sign up activity. Click on the on-click listener on the design part to enable the on-click listener for the text which is given as the login or sign up. So for the sign up activity, you need to give a create intent. So by giving start activity, by initializing a new intent called new intent, and in this intent you need to pass two parameters. One is the current activity and another things which activity you want to go. That another activity is sign up activity. So here we are giving the sign up class. For the same also the sign up activity which you have to go for the login. So the same process is followed for the login activity. As we need to change the class from sign up to login, that method parameter must be exchanged. Once this done, you need to click again run for the reinstallation of the app, to which will update the existing application in your mobile. Now we have to go for the sign up activity to register the user. So the username needs to be given as hello, followed by email address is given as hello@jollycreations.org and the password is given as hello12345. keep it secret. After the registration is done, you have to go for the login activity. In this login activity, you can give the username as hello, and you must enter the secret password. Once the login button is clicked, you can see that login successful. The contents what we are approached in this lesson is all done. Now we can see the data in the database. Go for the database and we can see the username as hello and email as hello@jollycreations.org, password as hello12345. I believe that you have learned. Thank you from Jyotish.